Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Dan-A-Plooza. My guest at this time is an amazing, talented lady. She is a ring announcer. She is also the WWE Announcer Contest winner of the SummerSlam pay-per-view in 2021. You can follow her on the social media. That is Ringside Raine on Instagram. And if you are a podcast viewer besides Dan-A-Plooza and looking for other podcasts, may I suggest Fight in Sight podcast, which you can now view on Spotify and YouTube. That is the plug segment. So we always like to start with the plug segment and then carry forward. So, Raine, I kind of want to know what your reaction was when you won the WWE announcer contest on social media.
Oh wow. So my first reaction was I just remember just crying and I just literally just got to the floor just crying and I couldn't
Oh.
talk. And my husband asked me what was going on and I couldn't say anything, right? So I just showed him my phone and he's like, "Oh my God." And I just
Oh
like
no.
nodding my head and I said, "Yeah." I couldn't believe it, because I didn't really think that they would see my videos.
Mm-hmm.
Because I literally just created a TikTok account just so I could join the contest. So
Yeah.
I didn't have that many followers. My videos didn't really have that many views. And every time I would click on the hashtags, my videos were basically buried, you know, because I just created a new TikTok account. So I didn't really think that they would see my video. And so when I found out that I had won the contest, I couldn't believe it.
It and it's interesting that it happened at SummerSlam, the biggest block party of the summer. It's kind of is it kind of interesting because it's kind of like a little bit of a money in the bank, like you're cashing in for your moment, you know. Come down to the ring with a briefcase and your microphone.
Well, Big E had the briefcase at that time, but
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It was at SummerSlam,
Hmm.
mostly because it was in Las Vegas. And when I first moved to the United States, that's
Hmm.
where I first lived in Las
Oh
Vegas.
wow.
So I thought it was kind of like, a nice element to my story, my American dream and all
Hmm.
that, that I got to fulfill one of my dreams in Las Vegas, where I
Right.
lived when I moved to the United States.
So, um, from going from where you are located to going to the arena that day, do you
Mhm.
remember like your experience, maybe seeing other talents, superstars, fans? Do you remember all of that?
Yeah, honestly, that day we had to be there by 8:45 in the morning.
Wow.
And I know that because I had like a strict schedule, because
Okay.
they had us picked up at our hotel.
Hmm.
And they dropped us off at the Allegiant Stadium. And someone from the department who handled the contest, they met up with me and they basically, went through things that we were going to do throughout the day. And then throughout the time that I was there for breakfast, for lunch, I was meeting a bunch of WWE superstars in the backstage, like Drew McIntyre, Street Profits, AJ Styles. What stood out the most was meeting Beth Phoenix and Molly Holly.
Ah,
Yeah, because they did congratulate me.
awesome.
It's one thing to like, hey, hi, nice to meet you, but like to go out of your way to congratulate someone, you know, and tell that person, hey, you did a great job, and I thought that was really nice of them. I got to meet Triple H too, which
Oh,
which his advice that day I still carry with me every time I ring announce, and he told me, don't be nervous, just have fun, enjoy the moment.
yeah.
And that's what I did that day. I just had fun and enjoyed the moment.
Wow, that's awesome. I when you were saying all that, it was like all the catchphrases like in my head. I was thinking like, we want the smoke. Like the Street Profits, and the phenomenal is always AJ Styles,
Mhm.
and the Glamazon, and Molly Holly, and I'm glad that you really got to have that experience. I think as within you, you're probably going to carry that forever, and
Yeah, yeah.
cherish it.
Mhm. Yeah, it's definitely an experience that, I will never forget. I will carry in my heart forever. Matter of fact, if I tilt up my camera right here, the
Uh-huh.
picture right there is like for me announcing from SummerSlam.
Oh yeah.
And the chair that I'm sitting
Hmm.
right now is my chair from SummerSlam.
Oh, the SummerSlam chair. Yeah. Um Now, were you practicing before like you did that? Like, were you practicing that morning, or were you saving your instrument?
Yeah, so the thing is I didn't really know what I would announce until I got there.
Oh, okay.
So literally, like, I got there and then, they're like, "Hey, here's what you're gonna do today, la la
Mhm,
la. Oh, and by the way, here's what you're gonna announce."
mhm.
And it helped me, honestly, for it to be just like last minute, because I didn't have to overthink it,
Oh,
right? It
okay.
was basically like, to me, it's like, oh, okay, this is what I'm gonna say. All right,
Uh-huh.
cool. Like there was no point of like overthinking or rehearsing or over
Mhm.
practicing. The only rehearsal that I got to do was for them to get my audio levels, right? Because they had to give me a microphone, my own microphone, to tell me where I need to stand in the ring. So we did that one rehearsal wherein Mike Rome and I were in the ring. He introduced me, and then I got to do my thing. But that's about it. That was the only, I guess, practice that I got that day. Because I think with ring announcing, I think even when I ring announce now at my events, I don't really rehearse anything.
Mhm.
Mostly because I don't want to overthink it, right? You read through your notes and stuff, and you kind of have like a note on like, okay, I would emphasize this, that, and la 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 la. But I don't really practice, mostly because I
Okay.
don't want to overthink it. I just want to have fun.
Right, right. You could get that mental block. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because it's like I feel like so there's pros and cons with that. At least for me, what works so far is that if I don't overthink it, I end up having fun and I end up doing better. I feel a lot
Mhm.
better. I don't get nervous. Whereas if I practice so much, it's like, okay, wait, when I practice, I did this, I did that. It's like you tend to overthink.
Yeah.
Um, so I kind of found what works for me.
Does anybody ever ring announce you? Like, has that ever happened where anybody's announced your name, or is that?
No, not really. No, no, I don't think so. I mean, the only time that someone announced me was when Mike Rome introduced me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, because I remember he's like, "Oh, like the winner of WWE announcer contest, Raine Cruz, la la la." That's about it.
I would like to see you to ring announce one of my favorite superstars, Bailey.
uh Oh God, yeah, that would be really nice to do. If I get the opportunity again to go back and announce,
Yeah,
and even just like as a guest ring announcer for WWE. Uh,
definitely. She messes with AJ Styles. I don't know if you know that, but she messes with AJ. There's a TikTok video where she's doing the AJ Styles entrance, and she's like marching in place like very over enthusiastically. And AJ's like, no, that's not it. There's too much running. She does the whole phenomenal pose and everything, and she
uh,
goes, "That's how you do it." He goes, "No, no, too much running in place." She's got the arms all hunched and everything, so
uh,
it's very over dramatic. But I know that sometimes she's a lot of fun. I know she's always messing with Michael Cole, uh,
yeah,
but I would like to see you ring announce Bailey versus one of my other favorites, Raquel Rodriguez.
Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Raquel Rodriguez. I love it when you know comes out like, the Raquel Rodriguez, you have to roll your R's.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So it'll be I mean, that's actually, have they actually faced each other before? Bailey and
they,
Raquel Rodriguez?
they have,
I
but
think.
yeah, damage control has gotten, like intervened, so it's never been a fair one-on-one, it's always Io Sky interfering or Dakota. So I really like Raquel. I just wish they would put the belt on her. I feel like they do all this build up and then
I don't know, man. With Jade Cargill signing to WWE, I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, they I don't even know if she's going to go to NXT or skip. There's the rumor mill is like working overtime now.
Huh.
But is there anybody that you want to ring announce in WWE? Like, if you have the dream?
John Cena. I mean, if I don't know if you can tell, I'm a big fan of John Cena.
Yeah,
Picture, oh my God, right there.
he's right over
I
there.
can't see him, so
I can't see him. Yeah.
yeah, John Cena for sure, because he's John Cena and Batista, although Batista is not really
Yeah.
associated with WWE right now. So, but at least with John Cena, I feel like there's hope. Um, but yeah, John Cena and Batista, they're my uh, top favorite wrestlers. So John Cena was the first WWE wrestler that caught my attention.
Yeah.
Um, I remember watching WWE in the Philippines. Well, mostly flipping through the channels, and then I just saw Monday Night Raw, and I saw John Cena, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
interesting." And then next thing I know, I just found myself watching it every single time, and um, up until now, he doesn't. He never lost his charisma. You know,
No.
even though he hasn't been really like that active. I mean, I know lately he has been active, but like in general, every time John Cena comes back, it's like The Rock. When The Rock comes back, it's like there's that big pop. Like John Cena, The Rock, they never lose their charisma, the electrifying energy. Um, I'd like to announce The Rock, but for the most part, I'll go with John Cena. I'm
Yeah.
kind of biased. I love The Rock too, but um, I love John Cena more.
You should be ring announcing for Fastlane. John Cena, LA Knight, the
Ah!
Usos. I don't know if you saw Friday Night SmackDown where LA Knight signed the contract, for John Cena, and John Cena was over the joy to the moon. Like, that's what I like about him. He really knows how to sell and like do the next thing over.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, this is really good for LA Knight,
Oh yeah.
that he's working with John Cena right now on, WWE. So I think WWE saw the star potential of LA Knight. I'm glad he's not doing the Maximum
the model.
model. you know, I thought that was funny,
Yeah.
but I'm glad he's not doing that anymore.
Oh yeah.
Because I felt like he could do more than that. And then now here comes like, LA Knight again. And,
I
but
enjoy Chad Gable and the Otis and
Maxine
yes,
Dupree.
the whole shush gimmick.
Yeah, yeah. I actually like that. Yeah, I actually saw them when Monday Night Raw went to
Oh, okay.
Ontario, California last week.
Yeah.
So I saw Maxine Dupree and Otis.
Yes.
I thought that was really fun. Great chemistry between the two of them, and all three of them in general. So
Oh yeah, especially when they had the Otis and Chad Gable with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and Chad was shushing somebody, and Kevin's like, "That's some good shushing going on over there." There. All right. So, and I checked out your background, your IMDb. And I know
I have
you've
an
done.
IMDb.
Well, I know I did my research. I don't know if it's IMDb, but I did my research to see that you've done voice work. So I.
Okay, now I have to look this up. I
Yeah.
did not know IMDb. Whoever created
unless
IMDb, I guess. Thank you. I
unless
now have to double
unless
check
it's
if that's
mistaken
accurate.
identity.
This is news to me. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to look that up after this podcast.
Okay. Okay.
Hopefully, whatever you saw there is accurate.
Because I saw where you've done commercials. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I've done
Not a
commercials in
figment of
Las
my
Vegas.
imagination.
Yeah, I did. My first commercial was back in 2011. It was for a local
Okay.
company, and honestly, when I shot that, that was my audition.
Oh.
Because my friend was a director of the commercial, and he said he was looking for like some talent to do the commercial, and I said, well, I can try, and he said, all right, come by this day. I did the thing. I thought it was my audition. Next thing I know, the commercial was done. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it was for a local paint company in Las Vegas, and then they called me back a few years later. Um, and then there's this commercial that I did, I want to say last year, for an auto accident lawyer in Las Vegas as well.
Oh yes.
So, auto accident, bankruptcy, God, workers comp, something like that. Because I had to do a couple of them. So now I'm like trying to recall my script, but yeah, something like that. He's a lawyer.
It's interesting because the guest I had on the other day, she was doing construction safety videos, wearing a harness and everything, so and the safety's in that. So I am continuing with the theme of safety in the workplace. um but has that helped you because you've done the vocal work, has that helped you with your new um career in ring announce? Did that help build that bridge?
The voiceover
Yeah.
training. So I did not do my voiceover training until after I won SummerSlam.
Oh.
So yeah. So honestly, when I did SummerSlam, I think I just started ring announcing around that time too.
Uh-huh.
So that's why to me I had all these doubts in my head, right? Like I'm
Oh.
not gonna do this. Like I
Yeah.
don't know what they're looking for. Maybe they're looking for an established ring announcer. I've only done like what, a few shows here and there. Like
Oh
they're
yeah.
not, like all the doubts in your head, right? Yeah, and I didn't have any sort of training at all. So to me, it's like, yeah, they're not gonna pick me, and then I won. But I think what helped me before, prior to doing voiceover training, was I watched all of my videos, right? For
Right.
when I did like, indie shows here and there. I think prior to SummerSlam, I think I've only done like maybe 7 or 10, something like that. I
Oh,
can't
okay.
remember. But it's like you're in front of like 20, 30 people, right?
Yeah.
Um, so it's like, you know, from 20 to 30 people to like 50 something thousand people. That's like a big difference.
Oh yeah.
But what helped me, even before I made SummerSlam, in my head, I just wanted to be better all the time. I would just watch my videos and just kind of like, look, okay, what can I improve on? I sounded horrible here. I don't want to do that again. La la la. Maybe try this or that next time. I've had people tell me that I moved around a lot, and in my head, I was like, maybe I'm not doing it right. And then I remember one time my husband was watching UFC, and I saw Bruce Buffer. That was the first time I saw Bruce Buffer.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, this guy's moving around, doing his thing,
Mm-hmm.
very passionate. And I was like, if he made it there, I'm just going to be me.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna be me. I'll do my thing. And then next thing you know, I made it to SummerSlam. And then so after when SummerSlam happened, one of my husband's co-workers saw my video, and then
Mm-hmm.
she said, "Hey, maybe your wife would be interested in taking voiceover lessons." And, long story short, I signed up for the class. And, after I signed up for the class, I really enjoyed the training. The training was not about ring announcing. The training was about knowing, how to use your voice to um, present the information that you need to present, whether it's like, construction safety video, right? Or,
Yeah.
a law office commercial, whatever, or your ring announcing, it's how you present the information that needs to be presented, what you emphasize versus, like the kind of drama, I guess, that you want to give out. So, yeah, the voiceover helped me a lot, not just with ring announcing, but in other like aspects of voice training. Because it's you're trying to sell the content. You're not just like
Mhm.
reading stuff. You're selling what you're saying.
Exactly. And I think that that's good that you had that training. So sometimes people have been asking me, like, how did I start doing this? I can
Mhm.
answer that question for you. Um, so when COVID first hit, I always said I wanted to do my own show.
Mhm.
And I was doing virtual meet and greets through GalaxyCon. I don't know if you're familiar. That's a convention.
Okay.
And they would have these little meet and greets similar to like Zoom, and there would be a moderator, and you would meet for 4 minutes, whatever the price was, and paid. And I did about like 60 of those, and it was like, I got to meet Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I dressed as Gaston when I did that. Yeah, very proud of that. Um, she told me I had the Gaston thing going on.
Uh,
Um, and I zinged her back with, "You're still writing books, Belle, and there's no pictures in these." Um, I met. I don't know if you ever saw Land Before Time.
yeah.
I met the girl who voiced Sarah the Triceratops,
Oh wow.
and she was in a lot of movies and worked with Burt Reynolds as a child growing up. And she said, Steve, what's his, oh, hold on. Main name is Steven Spielberg. I almost said Steve Gutenberg, and he's not the director of E.T. It's Steven Spielberg and Jaws. Sorry, Steve. So basically, she got the first Magnadoodle for working with him on movies and stuff. She's
Oh.
first kid to have it, and they would try to cut off the conversation. They would say time's up, and
Uh-huh.
she would say she's not done, so we would keep going
Mhm.
for a longer period of time. So then I decided to do my own show in May 2021,
Mhm.
and I started interviewing my friends, and I said, well, let's just try this and see where it goes. And so
Mhm.
here I am, 8 guests shy of hitting 200 guests since May 2021. And I always go back because I also have theater and acting background. Everybody wants to be seen, but what does it truly mean to truly be heard?
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
feel like that's a good quote. And so I designed this because I don't know what's going to happen with me and my stuff, but I want good people like yourself, to succeed in what you're doing. And if I can introduce you to people or make a somewhat of a connection, then I've done my part.
Oh, that's really nice.
So that's what I try to do with these podcasts, is to get you to the next stage, and I hope I can do that for you.
Ah, thank you. I'm very fortunate to have met a lot of people who have given me advice, and or like what you just said, like have introduced me to like other people and have told me, hey, why don't you reach out to this person, that person, or just kind of like like have given me ideas and how to network myself.
Yeah,
So like to me too, that's kind of like how I kind of give back. Like I'd like to like pay it forward, right? If someone asks me,
right.
advice, I'm more than happy to like give them an advice,
Yeah.
because there isn't any school for ring announcing.
No.
I got here by accident and I'm loving it, thank God, but yeah, it's kind of like it's you don't just go to school for it and then you graduate and then you
Mhm.
become a ring announcer.
There's no microphone diploma that's
No,
bestowed on you.
no, I think right now it's like I saw Lillian Garcia's post on her Instagram, and then she was talking about how she was nervous about like being a WWE ring announcer, and then you know later on, I think she saw Becky Lynch when she won the NXT Women's Champion, and
Mhm.
Becky had mentioned something I don't know the exact quote, but something in terms of like if it's for you, it will find you, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's what Lillian Garcia felt too, that to her she felt like she's not qualified, she's not ready for it and all that. um but in the end she felt like, what, it's for her, and that's why she was put in that position. And I think whether you're trying to be a ring announcer, a wrestler, or an actor, whatever your dream is, I think, yeah,
Podcaster.
I think it's all about, if it's for you, it will happen for you. If you put in the hard work, you're passionate about it, things will work out for you. I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. That's why to me, I don't see anyone as my competition. To be honest with you, I don't,
Mhm.
because it's like if it's for me, doesn't matter.
Right.
SummerSlam is a perfect example. Like I told you,
Right.
all the doubts in my head. I'm not gonna get this.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a TikTok account. I had to make one, and I had to ask my wrestling friends, "How do you create a video here?" I don't know. But somehow it found me, and
Yeah.
I think it. Sometimes I feel like some people withhold information or withhold, being the bridge for somebody
Mhm.
else because they feel like, hey, that's my competition, whatever. I don't know. I think to me, I've been blessed to have met like people who have been nice to me, um, and I'd like to pay it forward and be that same person to other people.
Give you a round of applause. That's
Oh, thank you.
amazing.
We only got one life to live. I mean, do you really want to look back at your life down the line thinking you're a bad person? I know I don't. I don't want someone to say, "Oh my God, thank God she's gone." I don't want that.
I want people to remember my nerdiness and dorkiness and how I helped people. That's what
See,
I want.
there you go. There you go.
Because it's especially cool because we're gonna have a wrestling panel and people are gonna dress up as their favorite wrestler
Really?
for the
Okay.
gathering. Yeah, I'm gonna go as the Undertaker,
Okay.
and I know my other friend will be Ric Flair. So
Woo! Okay.
yeah, it'll be interesting with my friend Frankie. I think Frankie will go as Frankie. That's his favorite himself. But I want to thank you for taking time to being on my show. I really appreciate your time and I respect you. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really, really appreciate it.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the recording.